Okay, let's do this. If my audio is clear and my video is clear, just give me a thumbs up so that we can move on. Hi guys, it's me again. So we are recording, we are also live. Let's get started with this. Today I'm going to be talking about Firebase and going serverless. In case anyone joins in a little late, we will I will drop links to make sure that you catch up. I will drop links to this cute little repository and to this amazing slide that we have by a faculty from, I think, KIIT. Her name's Neha Nasreen. Um, I'll be using these slides because she has really outlined well about uh, the different things that are important in Firebase and stuff like that. So now, also I'll just turn off my own video so that it doesn't cost too much. So that there is some amount of action on the screen. So hi guys, my name is Abhinav. I'm going to be talking about serverless deployment today, specifically Firebase. Firebase is a service by Google that is essentially used to uh, abstract backend from the entire service and go directly to using database as a service itself. It's called DAAS, Database as a Service. Now we'll be talking about a few things: what is Firebase, history, why use Firebase, general architecture, and services. So there's a long description here, but Firebase is essentially you put in your data, it returns your data as a JSON file. That's basically it. That's the storage part of it. They also have authentication, analytics, file storage, messaging, and stuff like that. So we'll get to that as well. Now, coming to what Firebase provides you with, it's a ton of it's a set of tools which provides you full suite for app development. It's a NoSQL database. It's based on Node.js, which means it's more of a non-relational database. Real-time syncing. So I'll show that to you right now. Ability to create applications with no server-side programming and backend as a service. It's basically database as a service, but you can go with backend as a service as well. That's just nomenclature. It was, I think, acquired by Google, yeah, just like Android. And it's pretty much like how Android went, founded in 2011 and acquired by Google in 2014. So it was initially just as a real-time database. Then they, used stuff like authentication and other things like that. Now, if you are in a hackathon, all right, and this is like the scenario for me in multiple hackathons. So what happens is that oftentimes you don't have enough time to, develop a backend and create APIs and stuff like that. So what do you do in that case? In that case, using Firebase would be beneficial to you because you have 24 hours. You don't want to waste 18 to 20 hours on it making simple APIs for the simplest authentication and or messaging protocols and stuff like that. You want to be fast. So for that, I think Firebase is amazing. Apart from that, there are quite a few big companies that use Firebase. You've got Twitch, you've got Alibaba, you've got New York Times, you've got Lyft, you've got Shazam, and these are just like some of the few very big names. Some smaller companies use Firebase with their actual services to provide a better service. Coming back to this, so why use Firebase? You can also, like, there's a ton of features that are there. Specifically, you can create applications without backend server. No need for extra money spent on backend server. Faster than backend web services. I kind of disagree with this, but let's go with it. Like, an average person developing a backend service will usually be slower than a Firebase based backend. You've got push notifications and NoSQL databases. So if you know CAP theorem, NoSQL databases are amazing for availability and partitioning. It's not that good for consistency. So faster, sure, in some use cases. You've got auto backup, and there are other use cases where it's better. So Firebase client is added to an application using a relevant Firebase library. This is the architecture, this is the flow for it. Firebase has libraries for JS, Java, Android, iOS, REST APIs, blah blah blah. Then you basically uh, deploy your data structure, which is usually a dictionary or an object, a JavaScript object or stuff like that. You push it to the database, and it will automatically save it to Firebase backend and synchronize the data across the various clusters or instances in this case. Uh, I'll show you how to do this with a simple Python application. I won't do a full-on, web development stuff right here. I'll just go with a simple Python application. Now, in a Firebase service, you've got real-time database, authentication, cloud messaging, storage, hosting, blah blah blah. You've got all of this, and there's this small, cute little advertisement platform that we won't be using. We'll just be focusing on real-time database for now. All of these are like they require their own sessions, and I don't think I can do them justice right now. So I'll focus on real-time databases right here. So you've got a lot of uh, Google services are free and you can use them in the cloud. You've got Google App Engine and stuff like that. And Firebase is one of those applications, and you can use these to power your applications. You feel me? You've got so let's get to the actual part of it. I'll skip analytics. I'll skip cloud messaging, but like all of these are like super helpful when you're actually developing an application. So probably look into it. Authentication takes a little bit of time. Real-time database, storage, hosting, test lab, crash reporting, notification, remote config, everything in Firebase. Alright guys, I guess I'm back up. If my stream is visible, please let me know. Uh, I'm not sure if my stream is back up or not. Sucks. Uh, okay, let's shift back to my Firefox. Alright, welcome back. I'm sorry for the short stop. I guess there was some problem with the entire system. Uh, Thanks, Bridmay, Pooja, Anushraf, everyone who's in the chats. Anyway, so we'll run over this part a little bit quicker because I think there's some issues right now. So we'll run over this part a little bit quicker. So you've got Rajan, and let's say we've got Pooja as another faculty, and her rating is something else, and we've got Mrinmay OP guys, uh, also very valuable. So you've got all of these people in the you've got this tree kind of structure in Firebase, which is made automatically. Now, if you have to read these, all you have to do is just go to the the name of my Firebase is WMHOPO, which I don't know why I kept that, but .firebase.com/json. So you see how easy that is. Now you can just fetch this in React, and you can be like, you can just fetch this in React, and you can directly refer to this. Now this is not something that you could have done normally, and with other backend services, you would have to first deploy it to Heroku, which is a huge problem in itself. I cannot deploy to Heroku in one try. You could have deployed it to AWS, which is again very bulky. But as far as Firebase is concerned, you can just directly push it, right? So I think that's like a huge power that Firebase gives you for rapid development. But if you are smart, you can probably scale it up as well. It might be expensive though, I'm not sure. I haven't used Firebase like in proper production, so who knows, it could be expensive. Now I will be deleting this entire database so that let me just, yeah, so it's deleted. Now we'll do something interesting. We will try to push the same database using. We will push the same database using Python. So first, now when I say Python, I would also like to just let you know that you don't need Python by itself. You can use almost anything for. Let me see. There is a huge like one app. Yeah, you can add anything. You can add this to anything. Wait, let me see. Where is it? Uh, I often forget things like this. So one thing you can do is, if you're using jQuery or something, what I prefer to do is just call it normally, and then basically I refer to it how you would refer to any API call. But what I would suggest is, if you are using React, use the official React Firebase documentation, and do it properly using asynchronous functions. Now you have got official wait uh, you've got official integration with Android, iOS, Web, Unity. Leave this alone for right now. And C++. Now I initially thought C++, but I'm using OBS, so I can only stream window right now. Okay, on my laptop for some reason only Windows stream. So I had to I would have to open up my VS Code and all of that. It's a huge chance it might crash. So I'm doing right now basic Python, and it is, as you can see, not in the official documentation, but you can always do it using something called as Python Firebase. Now Python Firebase is this amazing wrapper around this API, and it does basically you can say that you can basically clearly see that it's a wrapper, right? Now anyway, you have to basically install this, and we'll see how to do that right over here. So first you do pip install Python Firebase. Now I've already installed it, so yeah, so it has installed, requirement already satisfied. Let's clear this, and let's see. Import from Firebase, import Firebase. So I'm first importing this Firebase thingy. Then I'll initialize a Firebase instance. Okay, so Firebase is equal to Firebase application. I'll add my link here, and I'll do none. So one more thing before you do absolutely anything with your Firebase, you have to go to your databases, you have to go to your real-time storage, you have to go to rules, and make sure that you have enabled read and write. It will originally be false. So if it is false, publish it, you see that basically can't read it if it's false. It's not, yeah. So permission denied. So make sure that it is true. And if you have done write false, then you can't write from other applications. Okay. And also make sure that once you are out of development, turn off write. Otherwise, anyone with your Firebase, URL can add to it. Now, other applications have this whole, key and all. Python, this wrapper basically doesn't have key and all. So make sure you implement your own safety using by turning off write functions. Keep write function, read functions on, so that you can at least read it. Now I'll write that, and I'll basically do a dictionary. Now in Python it's dictionary, in Java it's object, and I think you've got in different languages it's different things, right? So I don't know for C++ exactly. I don't remember right now. I think it's a vector, but no, vector is something entirely different. Okay, so you'll write this data. So my name is Abhinav. It's basically a dictionary. Roll number one, because I've always been roll number one in class and percentage 39.02. Guys, this is a true story of my DLD. Please write F in the chat. Anyway, so now we'll do result is equal to firebase.post, and I'm posting to this data and I'll print result. So let's see what happens. Alright, so as you remember, we had cleared the data. Let's see if it has written the data. Since it says it has. It's not loading. It's not loading. 1 second, guys. Sorry. I also just heard my own voice, how it comes out on YouTube. I'm not impressed. I guess that's how what we have to work with. Come on, load, man. Just for entertainment purposes, my own camera is also on. Okay, it's not. I don't know why. Internet. Yeah, so as you can see, Abhinav was added, my DLD scores were added, my roll number is added, and this is not loading for some reason. There's a lot of GUI around it, so I usually prefer to just write to API directly. So yeah, that was all from my side, and now it's time for Q&A. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I will be ready to answer them. I guess there's a little bit of a lag as usual. What YouTube does is I think it uses Kafka for streaming. Okay, Firebase versus MySQL. If you have to choose between Firebase versus MySQL, the thing is, if you know about the CAP theorem basically states that you can choose between consistency, availability, and partition. I don't know this, guys. Please don't. You can choose between either of the three. Sorry. You can choose two out of three, which is availability or partitioning, which is basically sharding. So if you want to have